Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host Tone Vays, coming to you live from the Rio de Janeiro International Airport as I am on my way to Panama. Quick, I guess, word of caution. If you are traveling from Brazil to Panama, apparently you need to be vaccinated for yellow fever, which is something I did not know. However, I have my international vaccine card and I am vaccinated for yellow fever. Because contrary to popular belief, I am not anti-vaccine. I am anti-useless, stupid vaccines that don't actually prevent the spread or sickness or anything, right? And potentially grossly weaken your immune system. So I did not have a problem with the yellow fever vaccine, which I had done actually fairly recently. In hindsight, I probably would not have done it. But quick word of caution, you better have your yellow fever vaccine if you're going to go Brazil to Panama. And they don't tell you that, by the way. Some people next to me in line could not go to the US through Panama, apparently, because they didn't have their yellow fever vaccine. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Okay, I got about 20 minutes before I have to go and find my airplane. So let's go to the chart. One second. All right. Let's go to charts. So the market took a turn for the worse. As I have been warning on this channel for quite a while, I did not have the cojones to put on a short trade. I am instead waiting for the perfect buy the dip opportunity. But I did say in my last video that there could be a nice shorting opportunity in this vicinity. I actually did not even realize Bitcoin went as far as 40,000. I was having a lot of fun here in Rio. I didn't realize it kept rising up that high. Interesting. This is the 4-day chart. So it did touch the intermediate moving average before having a huge setback. I probably would have considered shorting if it had gotten a little bit higher, but I missed it anyway. And now it's too late for me to go short because I don't chase. So I will just wait for that perfect buying opportunity. I don't take this MRI warning buy all that seriously. However, if we make a low next candle, and next candle is still 2 days away. If we make a low next candle, a clear low, no, see, this is still a problem. I don't know, I'd consider it at like 31, 32. We need to break this low. But if we break this low, we're so close to these lows that I'm going to expect those lows to break also. I'm just not bullish right now. Guys, I will always be bearish in a downtrend, and I will always be bullish in an uptrend. And while eventually I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be right for a really long, long time before I'm wrong. And I'm okay with that. Because proper trading is about risks and probability and statistics and risk management. I can't like fudge this. I mean, like, we need to get back into this triangle sometime this month. Otherwise, this is the future. This is the path for Bitcoin. Hopefully it happens, say, next month, and maybe it'll, end at around 23,000. But it can certainly go there. And my biggest concern in that situation is, of course, El Salvador and the potential stability of El Salvador's economic system, and how does Bukele navigate the fact that he got into Bitcoin and it's now lost so much money. In the long term, he's going to be proven correct. In this cycle, he's going to be proven correct, but his re-election is coming. And the Bitcoin needs to be significantly above his buying points in order for him to be a super popular president, not only in El Salvador, but throughout all of Latin America. Here is our weekly chart. The weekly chart looks absolutely terrible. We are in the process of forming a brand new weekly closing low, which is problematic. Potentially, this is going to be the second lowest closing low in about a year, in over a year. And that's not a good sign. That's not a bullish sign. Like, I'm sorry, but like when something is falling, I don't just jump into catching a falling knife. You need some kind of reason to do it. And feelings is not a reason. You either need technical analysis or some kind of fundamental change, or enough time has to go by. I will be a buyer of Bitcoin at the low at the end of the year. Like if Bitcoin continues to just struggle and go down and down and down and down, and here we are in November sitting at 25, I'm going to take that as the bear market has ended according to time, not price, time. Because with enough time that goes by, you don't need to go as low. But with less time that goes by, you need to go lower to end that bear market. So either we need an imminent crash down into the $20,000 range, mid $20,000 range, or we got to give it another 6 months of frustration. And then either way the bear market ends, it either ends with a price crash soon or time frustration later. We could start to lower this line. At this point, I would now become bullish on a weekly scale if we cross 42.5. We no longer need to cross 46. So that's a good sign for those that are waiting for a bullish opportunity on a weekly scale to jump on continuation of trend. And if this goes any lower, I can lower that continuation of trend line lower. All right, guys, join us at the Financial Summit in the Dominican Republic, an absolutely incredible event. I'm reloading the page. Absolutely incredible event. The video is from our last event. It wasn't really in Dubai, but Dubai was the closest airport. It was in the deserts, not far from Dubai. And this time around, we will be at this incredible castle in the Dominican Republic. Read more about it, watch the full video. We're about to post testimonial videos from our last event. I am off to Panama. If you click on this link, you can click here and you get info on the crypto blockchain meetup. It will take place at Emotions Dinner Theater at 5 p.m. on Saturday. I am arriving today. I did not sleep at all last night. We were partying here in Rio. It was only a Wednesday, but it was, or a Thursday. Might have been a Thursday. I don't know what day it is. Welcome to the life of travel. Daily chart. The daily chart looks like a complete and utter disaster as well. The MRI has just begun its counts, but the problem is that we crossed the MRI support line, and these moving averages are about to cross back over into bearish territory. I remain very bearish with the daily time frame. You see, we broke this trend line, we broke this support, and I was very, very bearish throughout this entire look of Bitcoin. I know the Fed rate hike had a lot to do with it. I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Basically, the initial reaction to the Fed 50 basis point hike was positive. And then the day after it turned, I still think this is a temporary drop in both the stock market and Bitcoin. Not really going to talk about the short-term charts. Also don't have that much time. Let's see how the GBC premium is doing. It doesn't seem to be updating. So I may need to talk about this on the next stream. Oil, I remain very bullish on oil. Whoa. Gold, I still remain bullish on gold. The stock market is in a very bad look for the stock market. I think this is going to drop down, but I do expect it to establish a low after it drops down. I think the NASDAQ took a big hit as well. I'm not going to pull up the chart right now. Someone wants me to take a look at GKP. Maybe. Let me see. So I do think the stock market broke critical level of support, and I think it's going to come down and maybe backtest some of these areas, like this top, which is at 33.80, and this top, it's like 33, about 70. So it's very likely that it's going to come down to this, like 33. Yeah, 33. Oh yeah, 3,400. Let's say. What is this? 3,700. Wow. So it's not even. It's actually even higher. Yeah, I think this area would be good, and then from there a massive rally. The Russian ruble. I hear the black market rate is closer to 75. So let's see where it goes. I've been saying on the Russian ruble that the daily MRI is happening. There it is. Not only was it a daily MRI, there was an extension C, there was an extension B. So this was the time for the ruble to, come back to trend a little bit, and then probably continue to appreciate. All right, we can glance at the DXY as well. I still think DXY is at a top. I know sometimes they're not easy to spot, but I still think this is a critical top for DXY. Let's see what happens next week. All right, I'll look at a stock or two. Oh, Twitter. I do have to keep an eye on Twitter. Oh, market's not even open yet, and the Twitter is going to open. Well, I think the government's going to find a way not to let Elon Musk buy Twitter. They can't at this point. Someone asked me to look at GKP on the London Stock Exchange. Gulf Keystone Petroleum. Whatever they're doing it well. So obviously with Europe cutting off Russian gas, if there's still any gas and oil left, around the UK. Oh, where's my plane? Let's see. If there's still any gas and oil left around the UK, these guys are going to greatly benefit. So in this chart looks super bullish, super bullish. And I don't see anything on the MRI that tells me to worry much. This is what I used to call a quasi top. Like if this candle closed a little bit higher on a weekly, this would be an MRI top on a weekly. So I'd be a little bit cautious right now. But the daily is still strong, plenty of room. I'd still be bullish, probably a little bit late to chase it. I didn't know about the stock, never even heard of it, but probably a little late to chase. But if you're holding it, I wouldn't sell. Don't you think the Bitcoin market is going very differently and in an odd way? I mean, yeah, it is, but you got to live with it, right? Great time to accumulate. Silver is a shitcoin. Yeah. Oh no, it's not a shitcoin like XRP. Silver is actually really useful as a metal. Silver is a very useful metal. XRP is just useless all around. Silver is just as useless as XRP for being money, but it's very useful as a metal. XRP is useless for both. It's useless as a utility and it's useless as money. Silver is very useful as utility. It's just not useful as money. this doesn't feel like capitulation. It doesn't. Capitulation needed to be bigger. I mean, if we replicate this, like capitulation would need to be more massive. Like this is closer to capitulation, because look, we were already in a downtrend. So I don't have a mouse, so this makes everything harder. You see how this was a big downtrend right here? This, you can call that, see, we're down 20%, and then we had a single day where we were down 40% in total. So that means we fell an additional 25+% in a single day. That you can say is, you can call that capitulation. See, that's a 23% candle. So this candle alone was worse. One day was worse than the entire prior 2 weeks combined. But at the same time, this did not even make new lows. So while this had some elements of capitulation as far as price, it didn't have the element of capitulation of taking you down into the lowest price possible, because we were way, way, way lower, right? That's not what capitulation is. So now let's try it again. Now the price of Bitcoin has fallen to these levels here, right? Now it's down almost 40%. Let's say it is down 40%, okay? And then on this single, over the course of 3 days, after falling 40%, in the course of 3 days right here, it fell an additional 20%. Now, while the final day was not as big as the prior, say, 3 months of time, you can also borderline call that capitulation. Doesn't fit all the parameters, but it fits certain parameters, like clearly creating a new low off of a massive short-term move. But once again, you did not go to new lows with said capitulation. You need, for real capitulation, you need the combination of both. So what you would need is, you would need a move that's probably a little bit longer and a little bit bigger. Let's say we fall 30% from the latest swing high, something like that. And then on a magical 48-hour window, you then fall from this $33,000 range, an additional, say 20%, let's not get greedy here, an additional 20% in a single 48-hour period to take you down below 25K. That is going to be true capitulation, because it would fit all parameters. It would fit the time parameter. It would fit the grueling price downwards parameter. And then it would close out with a final short-term crash. Real quick, I'm gonna go back to the, let's say, weekly chart and show you how this went down in the 2015 market and in the 2019 market. I gotta go back a long way. See, here it is as well, right? Like this is all capitulation events. Like this was a higher top than this. So even from here, you know, you go from 10,000 down to like 8. That's a 20% grind, and then boom, in a single week you just crash, huge amount. And then same thing here, was a grind, and then boom, 50% crash at the very end. And this was the worst actually in 2015. It was a huge grind for almost a year, and then boom, on this final day we fell like 30%. And this was almost a day. This was a 48-hour window, and look at that, it fell 40%. In just the last couple of days after you were already demoralized. So we're not demoralized yet. capitulation comes either like this, when you're already demoralized and then you fall another 30–40%, or like this, where you weren't really demoralized, but this is why, because you weren't demoralized, that single day move demoralized you, because like, yeah, not a big deal, you fell from 10,000 to 8,000, but in a single day, like in a single 36-hour period, you fell 50%. That one day demoralized you. So you weren't those other days that fell like 30–40%, the day itself didn't demoralize you. It was the combination of a horrible day or 2 to 3 day, horrible 2 to 3 day period after you were on the edge of being demoralized. So it's these kinds of these are real capitulations. We have not had one of those yet. This is, I'm sorry, this is not a capitulation. This was just a nice little pullback, you know, because we didn't even we barely fell, and then boom, we fell, but it wasn't like before. So capitulation would be we grind down to 33 and then we crash down to 25. That's capitulation. All right, I'm late for my flight. Can't miss this one. Hey guys, thank you all for watching. Please join us at the Financial Summit in the Dominican Republic if you are looking to advance your financial career, meet financial entrepreneurs. It's not only about trading. Trading is a big part of it, but you get to meet some incredible people. Talk to you all on the next one. Off the panel.